Okay, and now we have.
Now this one is also a very instructive game because we played as usual a Sicilian, very complicated, very sharp, full of tactical moments, and um, finally this game cost me finally the first place in the super tournament from London. You see, well, I didn't win in a completely winning position, but the game was excellent, until there, you see.
Okay.
Okay, so everything is well known. One of the main lines of the Paulson, played many times, and this is very funny because I played Ljubojevic many games, of course. Most of the games he played with white, and he couldn't win once against the Sicilian. I mean, against the Sicilian, you have all the chances when you are a very strong attacking player. In that time, Ljubojevic was called the Yugoslav Tal. So I mean, he was very, very strong tactical. Well, like a small joke, I was called the Romanian Tal. So it was very funny that we played together. So many games. So this one is no exception. This game. All right. So move by move, the best line for black. The defensive line is the best for black. You see. The idea is very simple. You put the bishop in f8. You have a very strong the defensive position on the king side, and later on you come with a normal line with b6, bishop b7, rook c8, queen c7, like this.
Yeah.
You prepare. All right. So he tried to find a new line for white. You see. Okay, bishop b1. This is a little bit different. It's not bad, of course, but it's different. The normal line is to play, if possible, to play immediately b4, f4, queen f3. A very nice example is my game against Klovans that we showed that, long ago. All right, black continues. The idea is to put the bishop in b7. Queen e2. I mean, he mixed a little bit the two ideas. He wants to control the square e4 and wants to put the bishop later on, maybe in a2 if he has time. If he has time, he controls the board if he arrives to this. But black is also playing, you see. So, okay, after rook fd2, fd1, rook c8, of course, no? Bishop g5, and now the small surprise. After bishop g5, queen c7, of course. Okay, bishop a2, normal, no?
Yeah.
And now the move, queen b8, preparing the idea. The idea from black is to free himself by playing d5, But d5 comes to fantastic complications, It's very, not easy at all to calculate what happens. So, right, so f3. Now is the last moment. If you don't play now f3, white wants to put the knight c2, e3, and now is you are very big danger to get suffocated. You don't have moves in one moment.
For
with
black.
Yeah. So it was a good moment to play d5 immediately. Now, if he takes twice in d5, black has no problem at all. Probably black is better. Like my game with Ullman and so many others. But now again, it's move by move. Okay, he took in f6, good. Now he plays with tempo, e5. Now, if you go to d7, it's clearly better for white, after f4, Space and very good for white. All right, knight h5. But now g4. Now what do you do with black? First, knight f4.
The only move.
Of course, no, the only move. Queen e3. And now what? If you go back to g6, he has time to play f4. Again, very strong for him,
Yes.
But now it starts. f6 is a fantastic move, And after f6, you leave the knight, but you come to, terrible complications. Better for black all the time, Because he played g4, trying to get some advantage, but he opened completely the position, and now all the black pieces are playing, you see. So that is the start, So, okay, he took in d5, I took in e5, and now look what I move. He took in e6, and now if you take with the knight, okay, black is a little bit better, but it's not clear, So I took with the rook, and now you can't take back in e6 because you lose the queen. You take in e6
okay.
after bishop c5 is lost immediately, you know. But now it starts, and now look what a move, you know. Fantastic move, d6.
Why?
The
Because
best counterplay. Well, if not, he could resign, you know. If he doesn't take, if he can't take in e6 and he doesn't play d6, he resigns.
yeah.
Because
No,
the threat is in one move, bishop c5 and win the queens.
yes.
Piece up for black, you know. But here, from here, he plays the only moves all the time,
Yeah.
and black has to try to show how you win with black, you know. Finally, we come by tactical play to such positions where black plays finally with two pieces against one rook, completely winning for black, but very complicated also, you know. So everything is more, sometimes is more or less forced now. Bishop takes b4. The threat was the same, you know, bishop c5.
Ah, okay.
b4 is the only move. But
Yes.
now, okay, for the moment, black has a piece, you know, moves something, and then we are forced to come in such a position, how I told you, two pieces, very active pieces for black, against the rook, and terrible king in g1, because he played g4, you know. And now the f3 pawn is very weak.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now king h8. Now what to do? Well, to tell the truth, I was sure that black is winning in a few moves here. You know, very big time trouble for him and for me. But, you know, fantastic position for black, you see.
Yeah.
So knight takes e6. Now again, the only move again, knight e4. All right. So I took. He took, and knight e4. Now what to do? Terrible for white again, you know, because now if you take in d4, you can resign in a few moves, you see. It seems. In d6. If he takes in d6, black keeps the diagonal from b7, and the attack on f3 is killing, you know, I mean, deadly.
Yeah.
So look at this, f4. I mean, he opens completely the position. Well, he was desperate, the poor guy. And in very big time trouble, you know, he hopes to, you know, to complicate until the last moment, you see. Bishop e7, very strong move again, you know, gives you the chance to go wrong again. I mean, if he takes immediately in e5, again, he resigns in 2-3 moves, you know. Rook d1, the only hope again. And here, queen a. Look at the position. You can't believe that black didn't win this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Well, you control everything. The knight is fantastic in d4. The diagonal is, you know, almost deadly, almost mate in 1-3 moves, you know. The two bishops, defense, very difficult to have such a defense, because in any move you can lose immediately, you know, with white, you see.
Yeah.
So, okay, look at this again. Bishop h4. Well, until now, everything was perfect. I played a perfect game until here, you know. And okay, he took there now. Now again, the only move. Look at this. King g2, yeah. On the big diagonal.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's the only move. Yeah. So now check with tempo, you know. King f1. And now, all right. Now you have to win. Yeah, you have to win. It seems easy, but it's not so easy, you know. He fights until the end. Okay. Yes. Super grandmaster, of course. Very difficult position. h6. All right. He can't move.
Yeah.
Has to wait. And now again, the only move. g5. And here, what did I play? I took in g5, no? No, I played queen f5. It was much better to take immediately. If you take immediately in
with the pawn?
With the pawn, it's probably winning for black, because you have to calculate, but his pawn up.
Yeah.
The attack continues, and the knight from f2 is very passive.
Yes.
And you have a very strong bishop, probably winning for black, you know, in any position. But okay, here I wanted to, you know, to win by tactical way, and I had a blackout like this, and I play queen f5, thinking that he's mate by force, you know.
Yeah.
But he's not mate, and I lost a piece.
You lost the bishop.
Yeah, I lost the bishop, and now after queen b1 check, winning immediately, I thought, you know, because if he plays queen e1, I was calculating queen e1. After queen e1, he can resign, because you have time to take in one, and knight f3 check, and he loses the rook, and piece up for black.
Queen e1 and
Yeah.
check here. Yes.
But now he goes away with the king, and this, you have a perpetual, but not more. That's now you have to give perpetual. It's unbelievable, man. This, and now he goes back. Now you have to give perpetual, man. And I missed the win, such a game. You can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
And most probably, the first place in London. Fantastic tournament. Where, you remember, we showed the game. I could beat Larsen, Anderson, Short, Brown, and so on. If I could win against Ljubojevic, it was almost sure that I win the tournament.
Perfect tournament.
But after such a fantastic game, it's probably the funniest game and the best game of the tournament for myself. I mean, and I left the piece on prize, okay, and I didn't win.
Maybe, yeah.
It happens, okay. Blackout like this. Yeah. Time trouble again. In time trouble, everything can happen.
It looked easy. Maybe
it looked easy. No, I forgot completely. I thought, okay, it's mate, or I win a piece. And I played. I took my queen, and when I played queen takes f5, I saw it, but it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if you are taking with a pawn, then
if I take with the pawn, it's most probably is winning.
The bishop is protected also.
Yeah. He's protected, and he has to take in h4. The only hope. Not to lose immediately, because if he plays something else, he's lost immediately, And then he's forced to win, of course. Pawn up, the attack continues, and so on. If he makes draw there, then he's a magician, What can I say? But this, it's gonna happen. Terrible, Terrible.
That's chess, I guess.
Yeah, that's chess, of course. Humans.
Yeah.
If the computer plays like this, of course, wins easy,
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Mr.
Yeah, welcome.